Okay, welcome to round 16 preview, Keith. We're at the family hotel. It's pretty busy tonight. We've been relegated out to the marquee, which I hope the lighting's good enough, and it is a little bit echoey out here. But we had a great round 15, and maybe just quick little summation of that.
Well, I just think it's made it even more complex as we go into the last three rounds. I just think that come Saturday fortnight, the phones will be going crazy between venues, because I really think it's going to come down to that last round, and probably several games involved in deciding who'll be in the five.
Yeah, and look, as we were just saying off air, you know, the top two, Traralgon and Druin, are on 42. Then we have Sale on 40. Really close knit there. Then we've got Leongatha and Wonthaggi. They're 2 games behind, but they're on 32. Then we have Moe and Bairnsdale on 30, and Maffra just sneaking in there on 28. Very tight. But look, this week, round 16, first match, Traralgon versus Warragul.
Well, I won't go for an upset here, Chris. I'm not really quite sure where Warragul's at. Prior to last week, you know, had the win over Leongatha and came out and were just very poor at the start. Lost the game in the first 15 minutes against Druin, and last week against Moe, the same thing, just weren't in the hunt early, game over.
And Traralgon's firing at the moment,
yeah,
aren't they?
Yep.
Okay, so it looks like a win for Traralgon. Then we have a really hot one. Maffra versus Wonthaggi at Maffra.
Yeah, this is really a toss-up. I'll go for Maffra. I don't know why, because I think every time I've picked them this year they've lost, and every time I've tipped against them they've won. So maybe if I tip them and they lose, somebody else gets a chance in the finals after they've been dominating it for a decade. Yeah, a really interesting game. Maffra have Moore and Warragul and Moore, I think, come in the last 2 rounds, sides that are in the bottom 2 positions. So if they win this, they're in with a real chance. But still, if they even win the next 3 games, they're not necessarily certain of making the 5. But yeah, I expect them at home to probably sneak across the line. It's just a hard one, but
yeah, I suppose it's because we've known Maffra for so long. I mean, Wonthaggi's coming along quietly, but I tend to lean towards Maffra purely and simply because it's Maffra and it's at Maffra. So I'll tip Maffra on that one as well. We have Druin hosting Sale, 2nd versus 3rd.
Yeah, well, again, you know, probably because it's 2nd and 3rd, probably warrants that match of the round status. But it's pretty wet here in Druin. You know, I think what Sale will cop is conditions that they haven't struck for a fair while. Whether that's to Druin's advantage too, I'm not sure, but I'm sure it's going to be very slushy and boggy here at Druin. Sale, you know, I know a bloke had tipped them to go through the season undefeated. And they started off, it looked as if they had a chance, but they've actually lost 5 of their last 9 games. And I looked at their lineup last week with a couple of exceptions. They had probably as good a side as they could get on the field, but weren't good enough to hold off Leongatha.
Yeah, I'm sort of bemoaning the fact that Robbo rang me from Sale on Friday and had a go at me for tipping against them. And he offered a $20 bet, and I didn't take him up on it. So, Robbo, you're lucky I didn't, but I didn't have the guts to take it up either. Having tipped Leongatha, but as I said, I was tipping for an upset, but I didn't have the intestinal fortitude to back my mouth with some money.
Yeah, it also looks very bad if the league's key administrator is betting on games.
Yes, so. I didn't have any inside info, okay, so... But anyway, yeah, look, who are you tipping?
Sale and
Druin.
Sale and Druin. I'll go for Druin. go for Druin. You know, their form's pretty good. I mentioned Sales occupied with their last 9. Druin's last 7 has had 5 wins, a draw and a win. So they're in that winning mood, and they're playing okay.
I might go for the Sale boys. They want top spot. Druin's probably due for a loss, so I might tip an upset there and go. Oh, it's not an upset, sorry. It's second versus third, so I might go for Sale just to be different.
Robbo's got you worried.
Don't ring me up for a bet, Robbo. Leongatha, they're hosting Bairnsdale.
Yep. Again, two sides have been hard to get a measure on this year. They've looked good at times, and then they're disappointed when you expect them to win. I think the fact that it's at Leongatha and it's a tough ground for any visiting side, and that points me to Leongatha.
Yeah, I think Leongatha seems to have the best home ground advantage, and whether it's that trip over the hills or whatever it is. And I think Leongatha, they've sneaked into the 5. I think they're determined to keep it, and I'll go for Leongatha. Now, the next day, Sunday game, we have Moe versus Morwell. Now, this traditionally is a great match.
Yeah, I expect it to be the same again. You know, Morwell's had a bit of a bad trot with injuries and other things, but they're still pretty competitive when they get on the ground. And but Moe's purring along nicely. I think the big difference they've got forwards who can kick goals, and watching Morwell last week and actually observing their results a bit, they're just struggling to get good scores on the board. They've got to rely on keeping oppositions to that 11 or 12 goals, and they just get a bit more to win games. But I really think Moe's forward capabilities with Donaldson, Johnson and Robertson particularly are very good, and they've got a couple of small guys who can chip in and add a few. I just think they'll post a score to win.
Yeah, look, Morwell have a tendency to be able to hang in there and make it hard, and they've had a couple of come from behind wins, but yeah, I just think the Moe Lions, there's too much at stake for them, and they just can't afford to drop this one. So I think Moe will win that. So that's some really important games.
Is that the one?
I think we've done everything there. We've done the Tarralgon, the Maffra, the Druin, the Leongatha and the Moe. 5 games.
Well,
that's very quick tonight. Maybe it's because we're freezing our butts off out here and the light's not so good. Yeah. But anyway, thank you to everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.